Check it out. It looks like I got a question here on the comments, and the question is, what made Tampa the top market in Florida for multifamily sales in 2024? Listen up. Tampa led Florida in multifamily sales, but don't be fooled, guys. It was only $2.2 million worth of sales in 2024. And just one buyer in 2022 was spending $1.5 billion. So there's nothing to brag about, guys. You have to listen up so I can tell you exactly what's going on in the multifamily industry here in Tampa. Pasco County was one of the most important counties in Florida in multifamily. And what Pasco County did 20 years back was very smart. They did infrastructure. So I remember when my father came to this suburb called Wesley Chapel in 2008, and I didn't understand why there was 5 lanes on one side and 5 lanes on another side with no traffic. There was no cars. It was cows everywhere. And I just couldn't understand what was going on, and I didn't understand what infrastructure meant. So one of the things that Florida did well, specifically Tampa, specifically in Wesley Chapel, specifically the county of Pasco, was that they thought about the most important thing that you're supposed to think about, which is infrastructure. So once they laid the infrastructure down, they laid the roads down, they laid the sewers down, they laid the sidewalks down, they put the parks in place. Once they did these things, then it was easier for outside investors to bring their money in and build these beautiful high-end community homes. And once you had these homes in place, they came in and they brought the hospitals in, which was amazing. And once the hospitals were in, then they brought the strip malls. And it was a small growth that happened little by little. But along with all of these growths that happened, one of the very last things that happened were the multifamily buildings. You had these real estate investment trusts deploy all this cash into Wesley Chapel. And it was great because we built some really beautiful buildings. Unfortunately, they overpaid, and we're going to see a huge decrease. But yes, if we're talking about the small increase that happened in multifamily that they're reporting in 2025, that units went from 210,000 to 218,000, guys, I don't want you to get excited. The peak of the price were $250,000 per unit, and now we see a small increase that they're reporting in 2025. We got another great question here on the comments. Are we seeing more local, national, or international buyers entering the Tampa market? That answer is simple, guys. It's all three. All three are coming into the Tampa market, investing their dollars, and they were invested it heavily in the years 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. So we've seen an influx of cash deployed from all those different types of entities that they just asked about. I got a really good question here. It's, what can a smaller investor learn from the strategies used by these large-scale investors? And what I would answer that question is simple. Just watch your numbers. When you're a small investor, it's very important to keep an eye on your numbers. These large institutional investors, they don't have to do that, because if the asset devalues or if something happens to the asset where it's losing money, the person that really loses is the real estate investment trust holder, the stock person that's got a piece of paper where it's a stock, because they're not really investing in real estate, they're investing in a stock. So if you're asking me what is the best thing you can gain from this, is make sure that when you purchase a property, you run your numbers. You look at what your insurance is going to be, you look at what taxes are going to be, you look at what maintenance is going to be, you look at what common area utilities are going to be, you look at your garbage expense, you look at your water bills, and you have to look at these bills, and you want to get at least a 2 to 3 year window. So you want to make sure that whoever's operating an asset that you're thinking about buying, that they have a P&L report where it could tell you a full story on the property, where you can be confident that this property is being managed correctly. We got another great question. Are we seeing more stabilized assets or value add opportunities come in the future? And I think that we are going to see a ton of value add deals, because we had a ton of operators that were inexperienced and new, that jumped into the industry with either moms and dads old money, or they jumped in through a real estate investment trust operator. And at this point, these properties are going back to the bank and they're going to get unstabilized. And when that happens, we know that the cap rates rise on those properties. And that's when the deal is great for you, because we can come in, clean these units up, get them ready for rental, get some good families in there, operate them at a nice cost, and we can see our cap rates drop so we can get more money for that asset. All investors get hit. No one is safe. So if you're smart and you got a property and you're thinking about liquidating, don't hesitate. Contact me at josejuarbe.com. Hit the contact button on my website, fill in your information, give me the details on your property, and I can tell you what your property is worth. If you enjoyed my video, smash the like and share.